Squeeze the throttle trigger, but the engine doesn't rev up? You very likely have a problem with the throttle cable. The throttle cable connects the throttle trigger to the carburetor. When you squeeze the trigger, the cable is pulled, which opens the throttle on the carburetor. Throttle cables will wear and break over time, especially where the cable meets the cast ends that attach to the trigger and the throttle. If the tool is left out in the elements, rust will become an issue, which can greatly accelerate failure of the cable. Similar symptoms can be caused by a broken throttle trigger, so you'll want to inspect all the parts of the throttle system before making your diagnosis. Replacing the throttle cable is a repair that you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how.
Hi, I'm Mark Socha.
Do-it-yourself repairs like these are easier than you might think. From lawn machines to cordless drills, kitchen mixers,
Outdoor grills.
our how-to videos walk you through each repair from start to finish. So doing it yourself means never having to do it alone.
Let's get started.
I'll begin by removing the bracket that secures the throttle cable to the trimmer body. And I'll remove the throttle cable from the carburetor. Now I'll remove 1/2 of the handle assembly. There's a spring on the trigger assembly, so I'll carefully hold that as I remove the handle half. Now I'm going to carefully pull the trigger away from the handle assembly, being careful to not lose the spring. I'll remove the cable from the trigger. Now I'll pull the throttle cable away from the handle. Now I can install the new throttle cable. I'll place it into the housing and route it through the housing. Now I'll reattach the throttle cable to the trigger. Now I can reinstall the trigger into the handle. I need to make sure that I get the spring lined up to put tension on the trigger. The spring engages against the shelf on the trigger itself. So the easiest way to do this is to lower the trigger into place and then use a pair of needle nose pliers to push the spring forward until it engages onto that shelf. And then once it's in place, line up the trigger with the post on the handle, just like that. Now this is in place, you want to hold the trigger so that the spring doesn't slip out of place. And now I can replace the housing. Now I'll reinstall the cable back onto the trimmer housing. Line up the bracket with the screw hole and then secure it with the screw. And I'll reattach the throttle cable to the carburetor. Be sure to check back often for new videos and expert advice. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up
And leave a comment.